Hello and welcome back to Betrayal on the Trail. When we last saw our heroes, they had successfully survived an ambush on the other side of the portal to the Shadowfell by scaring off the Hound attacking them and knocking out the man shooting arrows at them. The group took the unconscious man back to their reality in order to interrogate them. They found out that the young man was named Trelban and was tasked by the Lady of the Manor to stop people who were crossing through the portal. They also discovered that the Lady of the Manor is named Sylthia Thorawax, which happened to be the same name as Davrin Thorawax's wife. The party decided to attempt to try and negotiate with Sylthia, hoping to acquire the gauntlets without a fight. They convinced Trelban to lead them to his village to meet Sylthia, and that is where we shall continue our adventure. We find our heroes coming once again back into the Shadowfell in this same sort of derelict version of the fishing pond they were in before, led by Trelban. Is there anything any of you want to do while on this journey, or are we just following behind, letting Trelban take the lead, all that sort of thing?
I think Cabal is keeping an unnecessarily close eye on Trelban.
Mm-hmm.
As much as he probably should be looking around for this fascinating place, he's more concerned with this, with not letting him out of his sight. So yeah, just that, I think.
Yeah. Everyone else good? Just following on, or?
Think so?
Cool.
Yeah, I think so. Just kind of like plodding.
So, Trelban leads you down this pathway. You can see the moving shadows kind of coming up to the edge of this forest, and as the light shines its way across, they kind of recede back into the safety of it. As you make your way down, Janet is going to tap Bree on the shoulder, kind of head gesture to drop back a little bit.
Three will kind of look a little bit worried, almost as if he's like in trouble, and then just kind of nod and kind of slowly drop back.
Yeah, cool. The two of you drop back a little bit from the party, and she kind of comes in, walking very close to you. How much do you know about the people you're traveling with?
I mean, enough. I know that they're my friends.
This isn't a test or anything. It's more this whole scenario. It might be life and death, and I just want to know that we have an understanding of trust between us all, and that I know that I can rely on you, and you know that you can rely on me. Do you follow?
I think so.
Okay. I'm going to say something now, and it might be a bit confusing. As you know, we're a family of information gatherers. We collect files on people. We have ones on the four of you. We know pretty much everything you've done. Do you know why Arabella Plum changed her name, or?
This is just a 3, isn't it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Someone told me something, but I don't.
Okay. I mean, the reason I ask is...
It's hard to believe, and I know that one of them isn't who they say they are, but these people are my friends.
The only reason I ask is because, we keep our files based on names, and there is a certain point in Arabella's life where her name popped up in our repertoire, so we were just curious about who she was before she was called that. If you know anything that it would be useful to us.
I think 3 would think for a very long time.
I would also say that it is fair for the rest of the party to kind of note that these two have dropped behind in the walking order and are having a conversation down the back.
I mean, I kind of keep a weathered ear on it a little bit. I guess if no one else is kind of conversing, I kind of look to Cabal and just and
Cabal is directly behind Threlban on the lead. Cabal has no chance of noticing any of this.
10 centimeters
He
behind
is more
him.
concerned with making sure that Threlban can feel his breath.
In that case, if you're trying to kind of listen in a little bit, I am going to make a check for Janna, a stealth check to see if she's managing to keep this hidden enough from the rest of the party.
I think I will tap Arabella and just kind of like gesture behind as well.
Yeah, I think I'll just give Maria a look, like a that's odd look.
Okay. If either of you want to listen in, you make a contested perception check against this stealth check.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
14 for me.
4. My hearing's going.
Yeah, you can't really hear it. Marie, you can kind of pick up on this conversation, bits and pieces of it through whispers, mainly from 3's side, probably, who's less prone to stealth, but you kind of pick up the gist of this conversation.
I think 3 would eventually just say, people do things that they don't mean to do, and they get better. I think.
Janna's gonna narrow her eyes at you for a minute and be like, okay, that sounds weirdly ominous, but if you trust her, I trust her, so kind of bobs back up to the rest of the party, just walking silently, keeping an eye on the forest as you go.
I think 3 would hang slightly further back and just think for a little bit.
Okay. Eventually, assuming there's nothing else anyone wants to do, you roll up to the wooden gate around Traljaven. Roland turns to you and is like, "Alright, well, this is it. I mean, I'm not sure what your guys' plan was. Like I said, I wasn't supposed to bring you all back here, really, so I'm not sure what's going to happen to me when you roll up. Are we just going from gate, or...?"
We settled on diplomacy, didn't we? If I recall correctly.
Nothing more diplomatic than coming up from the sewers in somebody's bathroom.
Yeah.
Sure, no, yeah, front door. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't think we have it in us to fight whatever's here. But or at least an entire village of people.
Don't worry, Trelban, you'll be fine. I won't let them hurt you.
Thank you. Kelvin makes his way up to the gate, waves down on the guard, like, "Trelban, I'm back from my watch. I brought visitors. They want to see Miss Thorowax." Guards whisper to each other for a minute and like, "Okay, just a minute, Trelban," and they head their way down. A few minutes or so pass, and eventually the wooden doors start to slide open. You see the two guards, they're the same as Trelban, they're quite young looking, all of their clothes and armour, different shades of grey, all just monochrome colours. Behind them is an Eladrin, Ladrin in a tuxedo. He's got this very messy, wild-looking hair, kind of very dull expression in his eyes, a steel rose kind of popping out of his tuxedo, and a hand on a sword. He looks to you and is like, "Alright, do this way then," and starts to lead you into town, assuming you all follow.
Yeah, can I ask, is he monochrome?
Yes, he is monochrome too. There is the smallest tint of green peeking its way through the monochrome color, but it's like very dulled. He leads you through town. Like I said before, it's exactly like Hagar in pretty much every way, other than the lighthouse. Yes,
There people about in the town.
yes.
Sorry.
Actually, at present, quite a few people. It looks like people have been rounded up at the moment. They're all eyeing you up as you make your way into town. The residents of this town are much more varied from the ones you see back in Taramia. There are tieflings, half-orcs, a dragonborn or two making up the crowd as well.
Are we the only people in colour?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, like I say, it's not like perfect grayscale. That there's the occasional hint of like a very muted tone, but you guys are
We're clearly
vibrant.
more vibrant.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it vary between people? Or like some people more vibrant than others?
To a certain degree, yes. There is an element of it that seems to be tied to age as well, of essentially the amount of time they've spent alive in here. But there are a few older people that seem a little bit more vibrant than others as well. He leads you through town, and he comes to a stop at this. Seems to be a soldier's training area that is right in front of the lighthouse. There's a crowd currently formed around watching these new people enter town. And the Eladrin stops you all there, turns to Trelvin. We made it very clear. We had one little rule among us all, that you look after that portal and you don't let any of these little shits cross our border, and we keep you safe. We keep you nice and protected. And he is going to draw his rapier, and he is going to slash it across Trelvin's. You can make a chance to try and stop this, Cabal, if you want.
Yeah, I do. I wanna put my shield in there if I can.
Yeah.
To like shunt Trelvin out of the way.
Yeah.
Or place myself in front.
Make a contested dexterity check to do this.
That's a 9.
You have your hand on your shield by the time this Ladrin has drawn his rapier and slashed it across Trelvin's throat. You watch as he slumps to the ground. The Eladrin looks out at the crowd and says, "Alright, let me make it clear that when we say we want something done, we want it done properly. I want another person on watch up there by next dawn. We have an understanding." Crack kind of mumbles, shuffles a little bit, and nod. Turns back to you all. Not my nicest introduction, I admit it, but I represent Silthia Thorax. Welcome to Trial Javan. Now that you're here, you may as well make yourself at home, I guess.
If I like try to check on Trelvin, is that going to be a problem for this guy? Like,
You don't know.
okay, I would try.
Yeah. You kneel down to check on him. He is dead, unfortunately.
Okay, I think 3 would look very sad and guilty at that.
I think Cabal will like look at this Eladrin with quite cold eyes and be like,
I was going to break his thumbs. for a laugh, which means I am owed some. What's your name?
I'm Arisian. I'm the winning servant of Miss Thorowax's manor. If you need anything with Miss Thorowax, it'll have to go through me. But do let me know if there's any hospitality I can extend to you or anything like that. While you're staying here, he gestures to Trelman. We have a spare home going, of course.
We were hoping to have an audience with your boss.
That can be arranged.
Yeah.
She's a little bit busy at the moment, but I can book you in about 2 or 3 hours from now if you like.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Very well. In about 2 hours I'll come down, fetch you all. You're free to do whatever you want in this town while I'm gone. Just try not to cause any trouble or anything.
Of course.
Alright, well, Toodaloo, or Arivian.
Arisian. He turns around and makes his way back up towards where the manor is. Just have a murmur in the crowd as they're all just stood a bit in shock after what they've witnessed.
I don't know how you're feeling about it, but at some point I'd really like to kill him.
Yeah, I'd like to find means of getting one back.
See if we can work it into the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You three were just gonna like stare at Trelman for a bit, like, you know, I guess adjust the body if he's like looking particularly mangled, I suppose, and like, you know, cover up his eyes.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 2 hours to kill.
I'm kind of hesitant to go and just wander around the town. I'm not sure the locals are going to be like keen on us.
Should we just stand here and kind of look at our feet for 2 hours?
Yeah, I don't know.
Rest.
As you guys are talking, a younger-looking half-elf makes his way out. He's wearing white robes, sort of priestly attire. Comes up to Trelman, hand on forehead, whispers a little prayer over him, and looks to you and is like, "Sorry about that.
You didn't kill him.
Yes, but we knew that that manor was housing individuals of more destructive temperament, and well, we did nothing about it because it was easier that way, and I suppose this is payment for it. My name's Felbin. I run the Church of Lathander here.
Lathander, did you say?
Lathander, yes.
I make a history check to see if I recognize the name. Or a religion check.
Yeah.
17?
Yeah. So Lathander is a god of light, referred here as the Morning Lord, one of the good deities who are still in power at present. You also recall that that's what Trelman had said, the spire, the one with the light coming from it, is dedicated
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's his lighthouse about?
Oh, that was it was formed before my time, but it's the light of Lathander. It's got a. I can show you if that would be easier.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've got time to kill.
2 hours round trip up and down a lighthouse.
Oh, yeah. Get a postcard.
Yeah. As you start to head towards lighthouse, Janna's gonna kind of stop and just be like, if it's okay, I'm going to have my own scout around this town. Reconvene here in an hour or so, let's say.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah?
He makes
Let
her
us
way.
know if you find anything interesting.
You too. She makes her way off into the town. You continue on towards Lighthouse. It's pretty standard fair circular staircase that leads up some steps. And at the top is a large fire pit. The fire seems to overwhelm this gem in the center of it. As the fire touches it, it fires out light from the front face of it, which seems to be the dawn-like effect that you've been experiencing. It's on a large cog-like mechanism at the top that makes it rotate slowly. The half-elf shows you it and is like, "We found the gem that is connected to this in a well, believe it or not, of all places. We believe it to be a gift from Lathander himself."
What's the Thorax connection to this place?
To the to the lighthouse, or to Taldravan as a whole?
Both.
Well, none to the lighthouse. I've never really interacted with her, but well, one day she came into town, and this is going to sound strange. We have a large hilltop, a bit of a way from here. Came into town, promised protection to us. Her soldiers are strong, powerful people. She made her way up to the hilltop, and suddenly a mansion was there, a large manor, as if it had sprouted from the ground or been formed out of thin air. And she's been up there ever since. We have a whole deal set up with her. We send her things. She keeps us safe. But I never thought that she would do, well, her people would do something so extreme as this.
You heard the name Davrin Thorawax before?
Unfortunately not.
What things do you give them?
Food, drink, nothing special. Occasionally, they'll ask our carpenters to make furniture for them. Pretty standard, honestly. If I can ask, what you all doing here? We don't really. The last guest we got was Miss Thorawax, and we especially don't get individuals that look as odd as you all.
Thanks.
Yes, we're looking for some fancy gloves. We're here for her late husband's legendary gauntlets, which we are the natural heirs to.
And we assume she's not necessarily going to give them to us without some sort of rigmarole or...
We don't know that.
She might.
We don't know anything about her.
Well, I don't... I mean, based on hearsay, I'm building a picture of what kind of
we do know a little about her team, and they don't reflect well on her as a leader.
No.
Yeah, it's possible that she's just trying to keep herself, possibly the gloves, all manner of other things, like, safe. She might just be being really careful about that. I mean, we're just random insiders outsiders so far as she knows. I'm not condoning her actions or the actions of the people under her command, but it's not necessarily malicious.
Tell me, Lighthouseman Bellis, I think. What do you make of Alvazar, the tuxedo elf?
I appreciate
people-
you all getting 0 names right so far.
I'm not sure I respect this dimension enough to remember a full name. What do you think of their proclamation that anybody that comes through the gate is evil?
Well, I never saw anything like that in my teachings. I didn't really trust in it myself, but our mayor just believed that it was best to follow what these people say in order to get that extra layer of protection. I mean, you must have seen what's beyond those walls. It's not good for a city like us to not have fighters as keen as them.
What sort of things have you been having problems with, out of interest? Just the local fauna.
Mainly, yes. There's the shadows. There's the Saurus fauna actively drawn to places like this. Just multiple creatures that wish to drain life energy.
Why do you stay in the Shadowfell then?
You can come home with us.
I didn't know there was a way to.
Yeah, that place that Miss Thorowex had you guarding is actually a portal to another dimension.
There's fish
Not full of shadows.
and color, and everything's a lot happier. than
Well,
Not everything, but
No, that sounds interesting, to say the least. I would be interested in going to a place that isn't here.
I mean,
You think that sentiment would be shared by a lot of people here?
Well, that's a certain problem with certain individuals in this city. A sweeping feeling of melancholy over a lot of them, and a lot of them have all but given up on finding anything much better than the lives that they have now. They like the system that we have set up. They like waking up, doing their assigned job, and then going back to sleep. Making them change it and have to do something that isn't set in stone for them may not work out that well, but I reckon I could rally a person or two.
I mean, I was only asking out of curiosity. I wasn't necessarily fomenting a revolution or anything so noble.
Okay,
I think I just want to kill somebody.
people can do what you want. You could always come back with us and see what you think, and then do what you think is best for your people here.
We could show you the world.
We could.
We'll give you something nice and bright to wear, and it'll be colorful, and like I said, the fish are there, and not many people are sad.
There is more to where we're from than fish. I don't know if 3 is mis-selling you.
Yes.
I wanted to start in the immediate vicinity.
right now it does sound like you live in the ocean.
Yeah, no.
at least come for a holiday.
Yeah.
I might just do that, honestly.
Think about it. We have to go and meet our contacts.
And I'll turn to the rest of the party and be like, any kids?
Yes.
Sorry, if the lighthouse is kind of open, can we see like the surrounding area? Can we ballpark what's around?
Indeed you can. Made even easier by the fact that light occasionally crosses over it. See a whole lot of nothing, mainly. Fortunately, it's all mainly this sort of same dead forest. Occasionally, you do see movement within the tree lines. See these strange kind of lumbering mounds of flesh. See one in specific, it kind of featureless face, hunched over. It has sort of like harpoonish features for arms and legs, and it drags its arms across the ground as it makes its way through the tree line. You can see the occasional figure, but then it just seems to be a shadow and disappears back into the ground. There is plentiful a creature on the other side of these gates.
I don't want to go there. I don't think. Yeah, definitely come for a holiday.
Yeah,
There's none of those things.
No, I'd like to go to a place where there isn't these things. I mean, it's hard, but I have my obligation to Lathander here. I'm the one that keeps the fire lit and the light shining across this territory. But I'll see what what I can do, if I can rally any support or anything like that for leaving. I suppose I'll feel a bit less bad leaving my post.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like without this, everything will fall apart, and it seems like you're taken for granted here a little bit. Is there any other, like, duty? Are you always on shift, or?
I'm pretty much. We have people through the night, well, while I take rest, also stoking the flames, but I maintain this place.
Listen, theoretically, this mechanism turns it.
Yes.
You make it maybe not do that. If we had to, could you focus this on any point, say, in town?
Well, it depends what for.
I mean, again, it's just idle, hypothetical chit-chat. We're not talking about a death ray here.
I'm going to conspicuously wink at the rest of the party.
You'd say a struggle was to break out, or a monster was to come through the gate, or a corrupt leader was to be dealt with. Is that a thing that would be even possible?
Well, the way this mechanism works is it transfers the energy of the fire into raw sunlight. It doesn't necessarily need to be on the mechanism to function. So, hypothetically speaking, if someone were to take maybe a piece of wire, wrap it around a torch, and move it round in a certain way, you could have this gem be portable. This is extreme hypotheticals, though. In order to do that, I would be jeopardizing the safety of this entire town.
Yeah, wild. That's not going to happen.
We're going to look at it to see if there are any obvious faults. If I can chip it off.
Sorry, we can't just take a torch of it then. It has to be wired up.
Well, I mean, you could. The wire was purely just to hold it on the torch. You can hold it, but then your hand would have to be in the fire.
Oh, I see. Okay. The gem is what concentrates the fire. But if we were to like hit someone with the fire, say a corrupt leader or two.
The fire isn't magical. That's just normal fire. If you were to hit a person with fire, you would just be setting a person on fire.
I mean,
number, write that down.
Yes.
Plan 1: set person on fire.
What are your leader's weaknesses?
Do you mean Ms. Thoraxes?
I'm entirely joking. I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it.
Okay.
Should we go?
Enough of your time. We need to go and meet our the other one. We probably shouldn't have sent her off alone.
She'll be fine. She's a big girl.
I'm sure she'll be fine. I'm just worried she'll see something that we won't know about.
Like what?
Well, like anything, like she might not tell us.
Oh.
If she sees something interesting or useful, valuable, or...
Oh yeah, her family are information brokers. I'm sure she'll keep everything to herself. But...
Oh well, did we agree to meet her back at the corpse of Trelban?
I think so, yeah. That well-known landmark.
There's a few street signs leading to it.
Hopefully it's still there, or we'll never find the rendezvous point.
I think 3 would try and catch Arabella on the way back and just kind of do almost identically to previously, just with the head nod and it's probably just way less subtle about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always at the back of the group anyway because my walking speed is slow.
You need a hand getting down the steps, Arabella.
No, hang on, I'm coming. It's like just one step at a time. No, I'll go and have a chat with 3.
Okay. Hey, so I sort of regretted not, saving Trelburn and the fact that he died. Have you ever done anything in your past that you've regretted?
Yeah, yes, of course I have. Have you?
Yeah. I mean, probably. Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, but like, so... Cool. If you ever wanted to go by a different name, what would it be?
Why do you ask?
Curious.
But no, I quite like my name, 3.
Okay. Has it always been your name?
I'm laughing, but I don't think this is funny. You've got something to ask, why don't you spit it out?
I just heard some things, that's all. And I hope that they weren't true. Because I know you, and because we're friends, and because...
Yes, 3, there are things in my past that I regret deeply. And I have very little interest in talking about them.
Okay. I think 3 will kind of very slowly just kind of like shuffle away back towards the group.
In front, Cabal and Murray are just
This is the other thing about systems like this. When some incompetent leader comes in and rules only by fear, then it's bound to have a depressed populace. That's probably what's getting rid of the colour, I'd imagine.
It's always like this. Like I saw it in the swamp when my mum would like corral all 17 of us, sit us down and tell us what we were having for tea, and 5 of us would just be like, no, we don't want that, and she would rule with an iron fist, force us to eat whatever slop she threw down in front of us, and it was
a tyrant.
Truly.
That's all the time we've got for this week's episode. But before you go, I just want to thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave us a like if you like what you just saw, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss out on any of the adventure.